So if this is the list we're working from, this is what needs to be done in our district, but we've got to reduce the price so we can reduce the projects. We've got to prioritize. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, our number one priority is to create space for kids. Now, there was some confusion in the last campaign. There were people who were either hearing me say it, or they were reading it somewhere, or else they were just creating this. But the thought was that we were trying to build new space because we were telling folks that we're going to get more kids, that we were going to grow as a district. Now, we do have to keep our eye on what our enrollment projections are going to be, because if for some reason we do grow, we have to have space for these children when they show up. We can't say, sorry, we're out of room, you got to go down the road to the next district. We have to make sure that we can accommodate all the kids who live in the Sequim School District. But that's not why we need space desperately today. It's because we don't have enough room to accommodate the kids we have now. We just purchased 2 portable buildings this summer. Portable building is basically, it's kind of like a manufactured home. It's on wheels. We bring it in, we set it down. There's 2 classrooms per building. So that's 4 classrooms we added this summer. We're buying 2 more portables next month. And to have those delivered and set up so that we have them ready for the start of next school year. That's 4 more portable classrooms. That's 8 portable classrooms within 1 calendar year. Add that to the 17 portable classrooms we already have in the district. That's 25 portable classrooms. That's equivalent to an elementary school. So we don't have the adequate space to house the 2,800 students that we have today. The other issue we've got is that the state made it a law that we have to have all-day kindergarten by the year 2018. Now, by adding all-day kindergarten, you have to double the number of kindergarten classrooms you have in the district. Because right now our kids come for half a day. So I can get 20 kindergartners coming in the morning, send them home at lunchtime, get 20 more kindergartners in the afternoon, and use the same classroom. But now we got to go to all day. I'm going to bring in all the kids in the morning, and they're going to stay all day. So the 5 classrooms that we have now have to turn into 10, possibly 11, based upon our enrollment projections. The other thing, what was it? Is it a week ago now? A week and a half ago, our first presentation, it looked like Initiative 1351 was going to fail. That's the reduced class size initiative. Well, it passed. And so if we have to reduce class sizes, just kindergarten through 3rd grade as an example, we'd have to have 14 more classrooms to be able to reduce the class sizes from what we have now to what we're supposed to get. So the only way that we can do that is either we buy a whole bunch more portables, or else we start looking at our facilities and trying to find a long-term solution. Portables are not long-term. They're supposed to be short-term. They're supposed to bring them in, get us by until we get a long-term solution, and yet more than half of our portables have been in place for more than 20 years. Some of them even 30 years. Our other priority is we've got to improve the instructional environment. We are in our chemistry room right now, and we're here for a purpose, to use this as an example. This is the same chemistry room that I attended in Spokane, Washington at Central Valley High School back in the early 1980s. It looks exactly the same. But the world has changed, particularly with technology. Our technology exists because we've got a computer sitting on the same lab station where kids are doing their experiments in their sinks. We need to expand these rooms. We need a whole section for lab stations, but we need the technology as well. There's a huge push from our community and from society as a whole to bring STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, that we must place an emphasis on those areas because that's where the job market is for our kids and their future. So this is an example of what we need to do to improve the instructional environment. There's little things, though, like there was just an article in the Seattle Times, I think on Sunday. They're talking about the simple things. Natural light into a classroom makes a difference in terms of children's ability to learn to read. Being in an environment where the temperature is a constant 68 to 74 degrees makes a difference. If our children are in a portable and they walk in the morning and it's about 64 degrees, they're wearing their jackets. They're cold, and they're thinking about how cold it is. At the beginning of the school year, when we got those beautiful days at the beginning of September, those rooms this year were approximately 93 to 95 degrees inside. We've replaced the AC units, but we're not capable of really being able to cool those rooms down. So simple things like the classroom environment, not to mention the technology, which means we got to have the electrical and we got to have the connectivity, being able to connect to the rest of the world. These are the kinds of things we're talking about when we say improve the instructional environment. And then the last thing, criteria for our priority list, we need to improve the safety and security of our buildings and our campus. In 1967, when this high school was built, it was a different world. And the idea, and I've seen the artist pictures of, kids freely walking outside, sitting down on benches and having conversations, and just being able to enjoy the beauty that the peninsula offers us. It's a wonderful thing. But we have 54 doors that open to the outside. And in today's world, and I don't want to sound like Chicken Little and the sky's falling, but the fact is that Marysville is only, less than 100 miles from us as a crow's flies. They had a school shooting. School shootings are happening more and more and more often across this country. That's just one example of safety. We're all been hearing the big ones coming, earthquakes. None of these buildings, this building or our other elementary school, are even built to the seismic standards that are needed today. We don't believe that the gym will even sustain an earthquake because it's not even built for that. So we want to improve our safety and our security on our campuses. So those are our priorities that we want to, these are the kinds of the things, the criteria that we want to use to test all the projects against. So the thing is, if you start working off that big list, where do you stop? Where do you draw the line and say, okay, that's enough projects to do? Well, first question is, how much can we afford? How much are we willing to pay to support facility improvements here in Sequim?